In the words of Tony Robbins himself, the only thing that's keeping you from getting what you want is the story you keep telling yourself. Unleashing the sleeping giant within you is no small task, but it begins with a crucial first step. Take control of your life narrative. In the debut chapter of his transformative book, Awaken the Giant Within, Tony Robbins challenges each one of us to do just that. Robbins implores us to question the stories we tell ourselves, the ones that shape our reality, our self-perception, and ultimately our destiny. Are we the heroes, victims, or side characters in our own lives? Are we bound by our past, or do we see it as a springboard towards a promising future? Our interpretation of our life story can either empower us or restrain us, and it is this very power of self-belief that Robbins wants us to harness. He urges us to challenge our self-limiting beliefs, those pesky little thoughts that whisper, "You can't, you won't, or you aren't." They're the unseen chains that keep us anchored in the same spot, preventing us from moving forward, from growing, from realizing our full potential. But here's the good news: these chains aren't unbreakable. Robbins assures us that the power to change lies within us. We hold the key to our own shackles, and we have the strength to break them. The giant within us, that immense reservoir of untapped potential, is not a myth, but a reality waiting to be awakened. And how do we awaken this giant? By believing in ourselves, by rewriting our life's narrative, by seeing ourselves not as victims of circumstance, but as the authors of our own destiny. By understanding that we are not defined by our past, but by the choices we make in the present. So take a moment, reflect on your life story, and ask yourself, is this the story I want to keep telling myself? If the answer is no, then it's time to pick up the pen and start rewriting. So remember, you are the scriptwriter of your life story. Decisions shape destiny, which is a powerful statement from Tony Robbins. This statement encapsulates the essence of the second chapter of his book, Awaken the Giant Within, where he delves into the topic of decision-making. Robbins emphasizes that the choices we make are not just fleeting moments, but rather, they are powerful determinants that shape our lives and destinies. Each decision, whether big or small, has the potential to set us on a path towards success or failure. It's like standing at a crossroads. The direction you choose can alter your journey entirely. The key, as Robbins suggests, is not only to make decisions, but to stick to them. It's easy to waver when faced with obstacles or challenges, but it's the unwavering commitment to our choices that ultimately takes us where we want to go. He encourages us to stand firm, to hold our ground, and to persist, even when the going gets tough. But how do we make the right decisions? Robbins has an interesting take on this. He proposes using pain and pleasure as motivators for making better decisions. Now, this doesn't mean seeking out pain or avoiding pleasure. Rather, it's about understanding that every decision we make is driven by our desire to gain pleasure or avoid pain. By recognizing this, we can harness these primal motivators to guide our decision-making process. Imagine you're thinking about starting a new fitness routine. The thought of early mornings and grueling workouts might be painful, but the pleasure of achieving your fitness goals and feeling healthier could outweigh that discomfort. By focusing on the pleasure you'll gain, rather than the pain you might endure, you're more likely to stick to your decision and see it through. So, let's remember, as Robbins says, the past doesn't equal the future. Just because we've made poor decisions before, doesn't mean we're doomed to repeat them. We have the power to make better choices, to learn from our mistakes, and to use pain and pleasure as guides toward better decision-making. In conclusion, the second chapter of Awaken the Giant Within is a call to action. It's a reminder that we hold the reins of our lives, and the power to shape our destiny lies in the decisions we make. Robbins says, it's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, it's what we do consistently. And that, my friends, is where we find ourselves in the third chapter of Awaken the Giant Within, exploring the profound force of conditioning and consistency. You see, Tony Robbins firmly believes that our daily habits, the routines we follow religiously, these are the true architects of our lives. They are the invisible hands that mold our destiny. It's a fascinating perspective, isn't it? Our lives are not shaped by those rare, extraordinary moments. Instead, it's the everyday, mundane tasks we perform that truly define us. Robbins' insights on conditioning remind us of the power we hold within ourselves to shape our lives. We're not just pawns in the game of life, subjected to the whims of fate. Rather, we are the players, the decision-makers, and it's our consistent actions that determine the course of our lives. Now, what's the key takeaway from this chapter? It's this. Change isn't a result of occasional actions. It doesn't come from a single decision or a moment of inspiration. No, change is birthed from consistency. It's the product of the habits we cultivate, the routines we adhere to, and the actions we perform consistently. So, you see, if you want to bring about a change in your life, don't wait for a magical moment or a monumental decision. Instead, focus on your daily habits. Make small but consistent changes. Remember, it's not about making massive changes all at once. It's about making small, consistent steps towards your goal. And there's a beauty in this approach, isn't there? It makes change less daunting, more achievable. It reminds us that every day is an opportunity to shape our destiny, to move one step closer to our goals. So strive for consistency. It's the secret ingredient to lasting change. Scene script. Robbins states, "The strongest force in the human personality is the need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves." Now, let's dive into the depths of this profound statement. In the 4th chapter of Awaken the Giant Within, Tony Robbins puts a spotlight on the concept of identity. He suggests that our actions, our decisions, and essentially our entire life is heavily influenced by our self-identity. Yes, you heard it right. The way we perceive ourselves plays a crucial role in shaping our lives. Let's delve a little deeper. If you see yourself as a confident, successful person, your actions will mirror this self-view. You'll take risks, embrace challenges, and seize opportunities that come your way. On the other hand, if you view yourself as a failure, you might shy away from opportunities. You might hesitate to take risks, fearing further failure. So, what does this mean? Well, it means that your self-identity can either limit you or empower you. It can either hold you back or propel you towards your dreams. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You become what you believe you are. Here's the key lesson from this chapter. To change your life, you must first change the way you see yourself. To put it simply, you must change your self-identity. Robbins emphasizes that we aren't stuck with the identity we currently have. We have the power to redefine ourselves. Picture this. You can sculpt your identity the way an artist molds clay. You can shape it, reshape it, and even completely transform it. All it takes is a shift in perspective, a change in belief about who you are. And the best part? You don't need anyone's permission to redefine your identity. You are the artist of your life. You hold the power to paint your canvas in the colors of your choice. So start today. Begin by asking yourself, who do I want to be? Then redefine your identity in alignment with your answer. Remember, you are not stuck with the identity you have. You have the power to redefine yourself. Robbins says, successful people ask better questions, and as a result, they get better answers. Isn't that something to ponder? Tony Robbins, in the 5th chapter of his transformative book, Awaken the Giant Within, emphasizes the magic of asking better questions. He suggests that the quality of our lives, the richness of our experiences, and the trajectory of our journeys are all hinged on the quality of questions we ask ourselves. Imagine you're driving a car. The questions you ask yourself are like the steering wheel, guiding you in the direction you want to go. If you're asking yourself limiting questions like, why can't I do this? Or, why does this always happen to me? You're directing your mind, your emotions, and ultimately your life down a negative path. But what if you change your questions? What if instead you started asking, how can I make this work? Or what can I learn from this situation? These are empowering questions that guide you towards solutions, growth, and forward momentum. Robbins argues that by asking better questions, we can shift our focus, change our emotions, and create better lives for ourselves. He explains that questions lead to focus, focus shapes our emotions, and our emotions determine the quality of our lives. So how do we ask better questions? Robbins provides a simple yet profound strategy. Start with what he calls problem-solving questions. These are not focused on the problem itself, but on finding solutions. For example, instead of asking, "Why did I fail?" ask, "How can I succeed next time?" Then there are decision-making questions. These help you make choices that align with your values and goals. For example, instead of asking, "Should I do this?" ask, "Will this action take me closer to my goals?" The magic of asking better questions is not in the questions themselves, but in the doors they open, the paths they illuminate, and the transformations they spark. So, start asking yourself better questions. It might just be the key to unlocking a better life.